The title of our session is Terra Cognita, and it's really, we're posing this question: how can we accelerate disaster resilience planning with open data? We can't know the future, but what if we could imagine it? And you've heard several speakers today pose that question. Imagine a world in which we had access to the information we need as planners, as emergency managers, as financial analysts to make the decisions within our wheelhouse. While this might seem like an unattainable goal for most of us working in this field right now, it is something that we do every day. We pick up our smartphones to check the weather. We can now we tap into both national and global models to answer that simple question of what can I expect in the next day or a couple of days. We also in Canada are very fortunate to have regional and national models for the hazards of concern for us here. So we have national earthquake hazard models. We have national wildfire models, and we are developing national flood hazard models. So we have the hazard information, and we know that, again, from our smartphones, we have access to just massive online geospatial data sets that help us understand the world around us and how to navigate unfamiliar terrain. So why is it so hard for us to use these same system capabilities to inform disaster resilience planning at a community scale? Over the last three URBC sessions that we've hosted, you've identified many of the breakpoints for bringing information in support of disaster risk reduction. It's partially information governance, organizational mandates that limit access to information. It's inconsistent data format, and how we describe risk information makes it really difficult to share information across different disciplines. We have a real challenge right now in being able to share information across different systems of data. But mostly, I think we haven't made a really strong business case for how important disaster risk information is in the context of urban planning. As Carolina pointed out, I think there's a huge opportunity there. So we are we have launched an initiative, and we want you to join us for this session coming up. We're going to look at the challenges of information governance through a different lens. We know that we have access to over 2 million property information in BC, but it's hard to get at. So what if we could build open systems that made that information more readily accessible? These data standards are challenging, but what if we had structured formats for describing and cataloging information so that we could access it and discover it for areas of importance for risk reduction? System interoperability is a challenge for sure. There are data silos, but what if we could break those silos down and build networks that worked together? Yes, there is limited understanding of how to use disaster risk information in the context of community planning, but what if we could illuminate ways in which that information could be mainstreamed into community practice? So we have been embarking on a process for a couple of years now to build what we're calling the OpenDRR platform. We've taken a user-centered design approach to this process, and we have been building the foundations for a solution that contributes to this problem space. So we have built a platform over the last 8 months or so that presents risk information in a way that we think is useful for planners of different domains. But we connect this information into an existing spatial data infrastructure that's managed in Canada by the Federal Geospatial Platform. And we are in the process of building some web-based applications that will provide access to this information. And what we'd like to do on our session coming up is to bring you into our design process. So please come join us on November 24th. The session will be co-convened by Joost van Ulden, who's been leading our open disaster risk reduction platform development. Myself will be joined by Janice Sharpe and colleagues from the Federal Geospatial Platform and several featured guests. So please come join us. This has been a nagging problem for us, and we really need your help to find a solution.